Okay, right, I mucked that one up pretty bad because I completely forgot about Longplay vote. Probably because we destroyed Pod Racer so fast, I'd forgot there'd even just been one. Okay, Longplay vote. There are 5 up for grabs. This is no grudge match between 2, and it's between these guys. The Long Dark, it's a survival game inside freezing conditions, but it's not Frostpunk. I played it a little bit, and I thought, this is okay. The story is garbage, but I wouldn't mind returning to it. So it's up for bat here. It's something quite a bit different. There's Stronghold 2. It's not as garbage as Stronghold 3. It's nowhere near as good as Stronghold 1. But we haven't had it on the channel at all, whilst we have certainly had the other two. It's been up for vote before. It's performed admirably, but not well enough, evidently. There's State of Decay. I don't know if we're going to go with 1 or 2 if it gets rolled. We'll go with whichever one the State of Decay aficionados say is better. I have 1, but I wouldn't be opposed to getting 2 if it's going to be that much better. We played it for a short bit before, the first one that is, and it seemed alright. Could make a long play out of that. It was also recommended on my newly erected Longplay recommendation form. Then there's Old Man Saga 3. We ran Banner Saga 1 and 2. Great game. Will we have the third? I don't know. There's quite a lot of popular support behind it. And then there's Nancy Drew. We're not specifically going to do the hidden staircase, but it was a funny image for it. We will do 3 Nancy Drew games back to back for the long play, because obviously I'd crush one of them far too quickly. It would be another pod racer thing. So if you want 3 Puzzle Mastery Nancy Drew games going, then go for that one. So whilst I was talking, I probably should have got the poll ready, but I didn't, so let's get it going. There's going to be a spin on this one, though. This is not going to be a regular vote. This is going to purely be a popular vote. There will be no additional voting using bits or the vote swingers, also known as channel points. Why? Because we just had a vote on the long play, and I don't want to feel like I'm just constantly suckling on the teats of destroying your bits and channel points with this, so it's purely going to be popular one. I should probably actually type this up. Next long play, it will either be The Long Dark, Stronghold 2, State of Decay, 1 or 2, question mark. And no, not State of Ducket, State of Decay. Old Man Saga 3, or 3 Nancy Drew games. We don't know which ones it'll be, so that's a bit of chance going on for you. We'll put up the vote, and we'll put it up right now. Alright, there we go. The first vote came in for 3 Nancy Drew games, but it's going to have to fight against Old Man Saga, and Stronghold 2 has a fair bit of votes coming in for it itself. It usually boils down to a 2-horse race as people stop putting in support for something that performs poorly. However, Stronghold 2 is surging up, and this time, again, it's a popular vote. 1 man, 1 vote. You don't get to spice it up with added in points. That means if you're watching right now, and my metrics tell me there are 515 people watching right now, you have your vote, unless you're on one of those unsupported platforms like, I think Xbox, they don't have their votes working, but who's watching this on Xbox? Old Man Saga and Stronghold 2, they're both strategy games in a way, and they have not put aside their differences, and that's why Nancy Drew is running away with the votes, got 43% of the electorate behind it. So it's doing alright. Thagnus is just redeeming a points dump. Swagging on all the people that cannot vote with them right now. Good job, Thagnus. Flexing on us indeed. Stronghold 2 has actually managed to overtake Old Man Saga, and it's trying to fight against Nancy Drew. Let's see if we can put a bit of support behind Stronghold 2. It was the first Stronghold game. Let's go with this. To put in burning logs that you can cast down from the walls to crush your enemies. A ridiculously unfair and overpowered mechanic where if you mix it with a maze of walls, you can crush any AI opponent. And you can actually kind of irritate a human opponent as well if they're really bad. I played a lot of Stronghold 2 multiplayer. I would hesitate to use the term competitive because it's full of all kinds of house rolls and scrubs and cheaters. I once played a match against somebody who had a custom map where they had dozens of statues hidden in a point behind their keep, meaning they were drowning in honor and I was not, and I crushed them because I know the true meta of horse archers and rolling shields. But am I being a bit unfair in supporting Stronghold 2 here? Nancy Drew, we have played 2 games of it on stream, and I've really flexed my puzzle mastery on it. Interesting games, for what I hate using that term. Honestly, they're not that interesting. They're annoying, they're stupid, they're dumb. You can die by a man-eating plant or a killer robotic cat in them. Pretty awful. Come now, Jake, no sense trying to sway the vote away from popular Nancy Drew. Well, I'm running out of chance for that. We're down to our last 15 or so seconds, and Nancy Drew has a solid lead on the others. Jake is trying his hardest this avenue. Trying, but not hard enough. It seems that Nancy Drew has run away with the vote, and I know there were people that really wanted Old Man Saga to win today, but they've been cast aside, even defeated by Stronghold 2. That shows that the Banner Saga 3, and it will be run someday, just evidently not today. Worth my points dump, says Franconian. There were no points to dump here. Shows that State of Decay really has no support, or maybe it's just trumped by Nancy Drew. Okay, that is going to be the next long play, and assuming that 11-bit don't insert a bit of Frostpunk DLC into my week, we should get this one going on Saturday. Which also means I need to find the Nancy Drews. Now, you don't really have any agency over which one it's going to be. Probably not one of the 2 I've already played. I'll see what I can fish out. I don't actually own any of them, so if you can find somewhere that they're on sale, that's all the better. Okay, Nancy Drew, 3 of them. At least it should take a bit longer than the pod racing. Or not, my puzzle mastery is pretty good for them. Okay, cheers for joining for Carthage. Cheers for putting in your popular vote onto Nancy Drew. We know there was nothing behind the scenes on that. And until our next streams tomorrow, with guest appearance from IFT Clerk, it's a cheerio.